Welcome to Ask Shannon, a place for grace, where one mother's passion and determination for her child, diagnosed with a rare disease, was suddenly faced with saving the life of her special needs child. This became her only focus. When the life of her child was threatened, Shannon Kinnett's instincts led her away from conventional medicine. She desperately found an alternative, natural approach, and the outcome was astounding. Shannon shares her knowledge and Grace's story, now full of hope and happiness.
And now, Shannon Kennett.
One of the questions I get asked more frequently is, how do I start hyperbaric therapy? What is the process in getting to be able to do hyperbaric oxygen therapy? First thing is that you need to find yourself a physician that is versed in hyperbarics, because you do need a prescription in order to do hyperbaric therapy, whether you're doing it in a clinical setting or whether you're renting one for your home or purchasing one for your home. So that would be what you need to start with, is find a physician that is versed in hyperbarics and get that script, and then find a clinic near you or decide on doing a home chamber, whatever fits your family's needs. After you do that, I started Grace right away with hyperbarics when I finally got my script for hyperbaric therapy. Parents will ask me, do you do supplements? Do you have to do chelation first? Do you have to do this first? Hyperbarics was the first thing I ever did with Grace, considered alternative. I didn't do the supplements first. I didn't do chelation. I didn't do diet. All those things came after hyperbarics. So I think it's really a person's preference, maybe the physician's preference, but you don't have to be on all those things. I'm not saying that if you weren't on those things that maybe it would enhance it more or wouldn't, because in my experience, I wasn't on any of those things, and Grace just did phenomenal still with hyperbaric therapy. And to be honest with you, we always, we have a friend that had termed tears in 10 days, and that's really what I had. I had tears of joy in 10 days when I started hyperbarics with Grace. Within that first 2 weeks, it was amazing what I saw with her. And just the fact that she grasped onto my finger and I knew that she was there, I knew that I was on the right path to helping her. And because of that path, now I hope that I'm inspiring other families out there to help their loved ones to get into hyperbarics so that they also can have tears of joy in 10 days. So keep doing what you're doing, look for things, do hyperbarics, and there really is no reason not to start hyperbarics before you've done other things, unless your physician is telling you otherwise. And when I mean physician, I mean like going to medmaps.org, finding a physician that is well-versed in alternative therapies, especially hyperbarics, and not necessarily, because I did get a no from Grace's conventional medicine physicians. Actually, one of her physicians wrote on a script, which I thought was going to be for hyperbarics, and he wrote, feed Grace styrofoam 3 times a day and she will walk. And then he handed me the script, and I thought that when I took the script, I thought it was for hyperbarics, but that's what it read. And I just remember turning around to him and going, why would you do that? And he was like, that's equivalent to hyperbarics. Like, he didn't believe in it. And I just thought, wow, you know what? I've only ever imagined Grace walking. And for him to do that, I just made me even more powerful inside to say, you know what, I'm going to show you difference, And so I found a physician that wrote the script that was well versed in hyperbarics, and we started the journey of hyperbarics. But you do need a script. I would recommend, before you start hyperbarics, to, if you're working with other therapists like OT, PT, speech, have them write a little evaluation of your child. I didn't tell any of Grace's people because she was in the hospital. They knew I was doing hyperbarics, but I just asked them if I could just have a small report on where Grace was, which was basically in a vegetated state. So for me, it was a little bit easier than other people. But if you're doing therapy in your home, just say, hey, can you write up a little report to where Grace is right now so that I can, have it, and then go do hyperbarics, and then have them get back into those therapies and continue, because I do suggest that you don't stop therapies when you're doing hyperbarics unless you're having to, because you're having to leave your state to go do hyperbarics. But if you are in your town and you're doing hyperbarics or doing it in your home, continue to do those therapies while you're doing hyperbarics. Have them write a second report, and you'll be able to see the significant improvements that they're doing in all those other therapies. So that's one thing that you should do. So you need a script, keep documentation just for your own peace of mind, to show people around you that may be naysayers, wait a minute, he wasn't doing this before, and now we're doing hyperbarics and he's doing this, so that you have that. Even though it's anecdotal, it's still powerful because it's coming from you, and you know your child better than anybody. But the biggest thing is getting that script and then finding a clinic near you, or making a decision to have a home chamber. You can again contact me at shannonandgrace.com, and I'd be more than happy to help, point you in the right direction of a facility in your area that can help you. IHAUSA.org, they have clinics across the country that are, the physicians are well versed in hyperbarics, but give me a shout out at shannonandgrace.com and I can hook you up with those clinics, or, give you advice on if it's easier to have one in your home. So don't give up and go move forward and know that hyperbarics is available. I get asked a lot about different things besides hyperbarics, such as supplements. And when I first started hyperbaric therapy, Grace was on 42 pharmaceutical medications, and today she's only on 4. However, she is on other supplements, different vitamins and so forth. For her, she needs that extra support because of her mitochondrial disorder. And there's other conditions where families might want to give a little bit extra support with like antioxidants, or giving some B12 or CoQ, which is something everybody should be taking to start with, in my opinion. But, look into other things. Hyperbarics is a therapy that truly, truly helps. Sometimes there's other things that you can add in it to really make the hyperbarics even more so for your child if they really are low in different levels and so forth. But I have to say, getting off those 42 medications and getting on supplements has made a huge improvement for Grace, in different areas, because like I talked about in one of my earlier episodes, when you're on drugs, now I'm talking like pharmaceutical medications, they have side effects. And when you have one of those side effects, sometimes a physician will write another script for another pharmaceutical grade medication, and then that causes complication. I know that Grace's seizure medicines, definitely, I have no doubt in my mind that one of her seizure medicines is what caused her cortical visual impairment and her blindness. It was one of the side effects, and I have no doubt that really attributed to her blindness. When we started hyperbarics and she got her vision back, that was the last drug that I would ever let them put her back on. So you have to kind of become aware of the drugs that you do have your children on. Talk to your physicians about getting your children off of them. Never take your child off a medication without talking to your physicians. And that's why it's important to really find those doctors at medmaps.org, because they'll help you with that transition. They're going to help you be able to get rid of some of those medications that might be causing more harm to your child, and supplementing that with a natural substance, a natural vitamin or supplement that's out there that can really do the exact same thing that pharmaceutical medication can be doing. So Grace does take, people ask me, does Grace take vitamins? Yes, she does. Do I take vitamins? Yes, I do. Does Lily? We all do. All 3 of us are on CoQ10. It's a great mitochondrial support thing. It's good for all of us. We're on antioxidants just because of the environment that we live on. Sometimes we need that little extra support, whether you're healthy or whether you have special needs. But with me, with the medications with Grace, it was the greatest thing, especially when Grace was starting to be able to eat on her own and we were starting to look at getting the feeding tube removed. Try to get 42 medications down a child that didn't speak at the time, that didn't like things, that had only ever eaten food through a feeding tube for the first 6 years of her life. So, hyperbarics help with that. We were able to remove those medications, and we were able to remove the feeding tube, which was the best thing ever, because now we could enjoy the park.
Please share this information with anyone who is facing special needs or health concerns at any age. Shannon's goal is to help as many people and parents as possible. If she can save you any heartache sharing the knowledge of what she has learned, that saved her daughter's life, and possibly save you tens to even hundreds of thousands of dollars in resources that she spent, her goal is accomplished. Please visit shannonandgrace.com for continued updates and free resources. Send her an email with your questions. Subscribe to her YouTube channel. She is here to help you and will do all she can to assist.